is Mr. Mark, and in this video I'm going to discuss the updates that I made to my Amazon Dropshipping Excel system. I will discuss the updates first, and then I will actually go through the process of actually using this system for dropshipping. I would just like to briefly discuss the copyright on the system. This is just there to declare that I did in fact create the system, that this was a system I created, and so that no one else should actually distribute the system. However, that has nothing to do with you using the system. You're free to use the system, and if you have virtual assistants, you share a copy with them as well, so that you both can use the system together if that's what you need. I mean, so there's no problem with actually using the system. It's just there to say, hey, I did create this. I don't want someone else to then say or try to declare that they created the system somehow, right? So that's all that is about. Okay, so now that I got that out of the way, the updates. For one, here's the previous copy of the system, and you'll see that in my previous copy I have an auto SKU and I have a custom SKU. And whether or not to turn on the SKU, I removed that in this system. Okay, I removed it to having just one single SKU. Why? Because it avoids confusion, and I realized that you need one consistent column of SKUs. All right, it's going to come in. It comes in very important as you get more advanced, and you need to do certain things like Excel uploads onto Amazon. All right, you need to have one continuous list of SKUs. If you have two columns of SKUs, then it becomes a challenge to somehow merge your auto SKUs with your custom SKUs into one column. That's going to become a big challenge. All right, so it's better you just have one column of SKUs. To create the SKU, you will just, what I usually do is just put one, the quantity, if it's a 1-pack, 2 if it's a 2-pack. Right, if you're just selling one item by one, then it's one dash. I usually put the name of the supplier. It could be Walmart dash the item number or whatever you want. The main thing is that in Amazon, the SKU has to be unique. All right, the SKU for each product has to be different. Okay, each product has to have a different SKU. All right, so that's one major change that I made. Another is on the profit sheet. The profit sheet is now a defined table, and this is a good thing because what it does is it allows you to have this total row at the bottom. If you click on the table and you go up to the upper right corner, you go to table design, you can turn this total row on and off. It will be off, all right, when I distribute to you. This way you can keep adding. What's beautiful about this, every time you add something, all right, it keeps growing on its own. It will just keep growing downward. Every time I add a date, it will just keep growing, okay? So if you want to do August, you can put August 1st. Right, you can put the first date, just drag it down, and it will automatically fill in all your other dates all the way down to August 31st. And then if you want to go into September, it will continue into September. All right, you can copy this down as well. You don't absolutely need the number of days, but it's just good to see the number of days, right, that are on the list. Okay. Once you do that, again, you can go to table design, total row, and you will be able to actually calculate the sum of whatever you want. Total profit, you can do sum of net profit, you can do, I'm not sure what this is. Oh, that's count. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. For ROI percentages, it does not make sense to do sum. You would do average for those. Okay, you would use average. Okay, so if you want, you can do the average on those. Okay, if you want to know your total cash back, you can do sum as well. All right, and then you'll also be able to filter the dates by clicking the arrow, going to date filters, and you will be able to pick a certain month. This month, for instance, right? August only, or last month if you have last month. But one very powerful thing you can do under date filters is you can go to custom filter, and on custom filter, you can actually put in an exact date range. So you could say is after or equal, starting with August 1st, is before September 1st. Before September 1st. So that's going to give you all of August. August 1st and before. And before September 1st, okay? This will give you August only, all right? But you could also do this. You could go to date filters, custom filter, and you could say, you could use August 15th, right? And you can say, instead of before, I really don't like before. I would prefer, what is it? I think before or equal to. So is after or equal to August 1st, and is before or equal to August 15th. This will give you the 1st to the 15th. All right, so when you get your sum, there's no data in here, so you're not going to get any answers as yet. But once you fill in your data, your orders on the orders sheet, which I'll demonstrate in a second, then it will give you the sum of these 15 dates, right? So that should be that's very useful for profit analysis. When you want to clear all this stuff off, okay, as you add more rows, you're going to need to clear the, well, let me start up here. The filter, you go to data, clear, that will remove the filtering. You go to table design and you can remove the total row from the bottom. Now the total row is gone. That allows you to now continue adding in more dates as necessary, right? Now that you got that total out of the way, you can just keep adding your dates, all right? You just highlight and drag down, the dates will automatically keep moving from one day to the next. You want to see every single day possible because you want to know what is going on every single day. August 1st, August 2nd, August 3rd, 4th. You want to know how many orders you receive, how much profit you're making. You want all that data in here, right? Okay. So that's how that works. Now, those are the major updates. One other thing is that on the refund sheet, I removed a VLOOKUP formula I had, which is a formula that will automatically pull information from another sheet. Why I removed it is that I realized that when some people like to add their own columns, and if you add your own column, the VLOOKUP is thrown off. It's better not to have it. It's better that when you get a return, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to put return here, and you'll have the order number, the Amazon order number. Take that order number, which you're going to get from Amazon, you're going to put it here, and then go to your order sheet, find that order number. How do you do that? Well, you click here, under the filter, you put the order number right in this box, and it will take you to it. Or you can use Control F, which is find, or you can press find over here, find, and just put in the order number, and it will find the order. It might be all the way down here, right, for all we know. And then you'll just scroll over to the supplier section and get your supplier information that you typed in. You should have typed in when you did the order. So you'll have the supplier, all the supplier information for the order, and then you can just put it over here manually. Okay, sometimes manual is better when it comes to certain things. Sometimes it really is. It just really depends on the system. All right, so you'll just manually, you can manually copy that supplier information over here to the return sheet. Okay, which I call refunds, but it means refunds. By refunds, I mean returns, cancellations. Anything where you have to refund the buyer goes in refunds. Okay, return, cancellation, refund only, meaning no physical return, just depends. Okay, so those are the updates that were made to the system. Now, I would like to quickly talk also about transferring data. If you already have data in the old copy, here's the old copy, right? You will need to copy and paste this data over to the new copy. So, because you may not want to lose all the data that you've been doing on the old copy, right? So to do that, and I don't even have the link here, but that's okay. You'll have to select your ASINs. I only have one, obviously, because this is just for demonstration. But let's say you have 10 or 20 or whatever. You're going to highlight all of them like this. Okay, right click and then copy. Then go to the new system, the new updated version I just sent to you, hopefully, or that you're about to get, and paste. Right, and that will just paste all the ASINs over here. So that's what you're going to do, copy and paste. Right, so I mean, unfortunately, you'll have to, I mean, for every column, you'll have to do that, right? Can you do more than one column at a time? Yes, you can, as long as those columns are lined up the same way in both sheets. Okay, let me explain. In this system, the original, I have date, last updated, date listed, last updated, supplier. Okay. But over here, I have date listed, and then I have a restock date that I just added literally a few minutes ago. Well, then I can't, since there's a restock date here but not here, I can't just go across here, okay, and just copy this and just paste it, because over here there's when I do that, the last updated is going to be lined up with the restock. That's not going to, so it's going to end up here. So I have to do them separately. In others, I have to skip. So what you'll need to do is do the date listed first, right? And I know there's no data here, so it becomes like imaginary work, but let me put August 1st here at least. So you're going to highlight the date right here, the date listed, and then you go back to the, again, this is the new system, and paste it just like that. All right, skip restock date because there was no restock date in the old one. Okay, now we're going to look at now last updated, supplier, item number, item link, right? Those are still in the same order, so you could copy those. And then you could go to the new system. And where did I just... Oh, yes, yeah. Go to the new system. And you could paste them. And it will fall right into place. All right, I didn't put the link in the original. Variation is a little different. I added another variation column. There are now 2 of them. Okay, why? Because sometimes items have more than one variation. It has color and size. You have a medium, blue, small, orange, right? Whatever, large, green. You have 2 variations. All right, it's even possible to have 3. All right, it's possible. You can always add your own column. Okay, if you need to insert another column, don't worry. That's fine. It's not going to mess up the formulas. Formulas are relative. They change with the shape. All right. So of the column, so of the chart. So if you insert like this, the formulas will still work, and then you can put VAR 3 if you want 3 variations. Okay. So that's something you can do. Right click insert if you want to add another column. I have removed the protection from the system because I actually added protection for your own protection so that you wouldn't delete the formulas by accident. But I realized it creates issues. Some people said that they couldn't edit past a certain whatever row and all that. So I said, you know what? I'll just remove the protection. You just have to be careful. Don't delete the formula. Okay, now if you do delete a formula, if you delete like all these formulas here for some reason, the good thing is you still have like what, another 100 left. So all you have to do is go to one of these and just copy it. Just put the mouse pointer. If you don't know how to do it, let me explain it in a little more detail. Put the mouse pointer over the cell, move it to the lower right corner. When you get this little plus sign, you click, you hold down the button, and then you drag. Okay, this is using a mouse. Okay. No, that is not the only way to do it. You can also highlight, copy, whether you use Control-C on the keyboard or a mouse or whatever you do. All right. And then you can use paste. You go here and you do paste. Again, you can use right-click paste, or you could use Control-V or whatever. Okay. So basically, that's what you would do if you happen to delete the formulas by accident, but just be careful and you shouldn't have any issues. Generally, the columns that have formulas are darker, you'll notice. I made those columns darker to bring attention to them, to make them look fixed, to make them look solid and unchangeable. All right, so you'll see that the ones with formulas are darker, darker shade of color, to the other columns, which you notice are light or lighter, and those are the areas where you actually type in data. Okay, I could have made these darker too. I didn't do that here. But for the most part, the ones that are light, that's where you type in data, and the ones that are dark, those are formulas. Okay. So So those are basically the updates for those of you who are already using the system. Now, if you haven't used the system, if you're just seeing this for the first time, then you would need to know how to actually add products. So I will move on to actually demonstrating how to basically use the system. So if you already know how to do it and you've already been using it and you feel like you don't need this, that's fine. You don't really need to watch the rest, but I do want to thank you for using the system and thank you for all your feedback, which has helped build and add on improvements to the system. For those of you who are new to the system, however, I'd like to do a quick demo. And I'm going to use an example product on Walmart that also sells on Amazon. I'm not recommending the product. Disclaimer, this is not a recommendation of a product. I'm not claiming that in any way this product will be profitable or that it will sell. This is just an example to show you how to use the system. The product has 56 sellers, which that in of itself means it has a lot of competition. But just as an example, here's the ASIN for the product. You can copy the ASIN. If you have software, it pops up very easily on the side. I understand a lot of you may not have the software, which is called ACE Inspector. If you don't have the software, you can also get the ASIN in the URL, which you can find the ASIN. It always looks this way. It appears after the DP slash. You can also get the ASIN at the bottom of the page, all the way at the bottom, but I mean, that's a lot more trouble to do. It's somewhere in the product info. Oh, here it is. Yeah, in the product info, you can get it there. All right. And you just copy it wherever you get it from. The one on the left is the new one, and you paste it in here. Okay, that's the ASIN. The SKU. Every item on Amazon, you have to have a SKU. For the SKU, I start with the quantity. I'm selling it one. It's going to be one seat at a time. Dash, and then I usually use the supplier name. One Walmart dash, and then usually I use the item number. So if you go to Walmart, here's the item on Walmart. I'll just take the item number from here and I'll just use it here. I use paste. All right, and that's the SKU. The SKU is just for you. No one else sees it except you and Amazon. That's a way to identify each of your products with a unique ID number. It doesn't actually matter what it is, but it's just something that you need to have, right? And you should have a record of it so that you know what SKU is what. Okay, the date listed is today's date, August 25th. Okay, restock date doesn't apply. You're not restocking it. And then you put the supplier, which is Walmart. Okay, and then you'll have the item number, which actually I just copied not long ago, so I should be able to paste it again. Item link, very important. I didn't do it here for whatever reason, but you should definitely have the link to the item, so it makes it easier to get back to. If you're using software, you will of course have to put the link into the software so the software can scan the item. I'm going to use right click, second paste button. Actually undo, I'm going to use the first paste button for that. Okay, if you use that button, it's going to white out the background, which is fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. The variation, the product is navy blue, so you can put navy blue. Unit price is $99. You're selling one number of units, meaning is this a single pack, multi-pack? Sometimes it's a 2-pack. Okay, you're selling 2 at a time. It's one. The item is being sold by Walmart 1 at a time, but the Amazon listing might say 2. Right? So then it could be 1, it could be 2. All right, it's a different number of units. In this case, it's just 1. Subtotal is $99. No shipping because it's over $35. Tax, put an average. You don't know what the tax is going to be. Let's say 7% average. That's $6.93 average tax. If you have any additional discounts that you expect, you can put a negative number here. You can put minus $1 if you expect to get $1 off, for instance. Now the total cost is $105.93 with the tax. Then you're looking at, the cashback. And the cashback, it's about, let's say you're getting 2% on a card. If you use a really strong cashback site like ShopSmarter, gives you 10% back on all Walmart purchases. You can use that. However, it costs $10 a month for the membership. But if you're in the US, ShopSmarter is the name of the site. That's the site you can use, shopsmarter.com. for that kind of cashback, right? You can also use other cashback sites. It won't be as much, but you can get cashback, right? From these percentages, it will automatically calculate for you 2% on the total for the card, 10% the portal, which means the site. That cashback is on the subtotal. They don't give you cashback on the total. They give you cashback on the price of the item when it comes to the cashback sites. So they're going to give you 10% of $99. So this is the total cashback you're going to get. You put the fee that you're going to pay to Amazon. Amazon charges standard 15% fee. You put the 15% Amazon fee. This will tell you your break even, what it should be, approximately 110.48. Basically, you want to make sure that the price on Amazon is above the break even. On Amazon, it's selling for $118.99. So I'm just going to put $118.99 for the Amazon price. And I will make some profit. Here's the fee, $17.85. Here's the payout, $101.14. But I'm not going to make profit up front because the price is not high enough. So your initial profit is actually minus $5 approximately. So it looks like you're losing money, but because of the total profit, which comes from cashback, when you add the cashback that you're going to get, you actually end up with $7.23 net profit. And so your margin is going to be this, and this is your total ROI. Okay, again, I'm not recommending this product. It's just an example product. So that's what you're going to get. All right, so this is really just a way of predicting or basically trying to predict or forecast approximately what profit you would expect from this item if it were to sell, right? However, you don't know what price it's going to sell at because you might have to lower the price or you might end up raising it. It just kind of depends, right? But this just gives you an idea so that you know that you're selling it at a price that will make profit, right? So this is good for manual pricing if you want to do your prices manually, but also if you're using software so that you can see if the item is even profitable before you add it to your software, you know, or you can still go ahead and add it to your software if you wish. All right, so that's the product sheet. The other part is the orders. For the orders, you're just going to put the order number, and it could be 123-1234567-1234567. You're going to put the date the order sold. Let me unhide this. I hid something in here. I got to put it back. If the item sold today on August 25th, you will have the order number. Sold date August 25th. Ship by date is really optional. It's the date that you're required to ship the item and the date the item is required to be delivered by, according to your shipping and handling time. But you don't have to fill these in, all right? I mean, but you can. But it takes time to copy that stuff. But it's good to have. So it depends. I mean, it's up to you. Date shipped. When you actually ship the item, you can put the date shipped. Again, you don't necessarily have to do that either. But you can. When the item ships, you can say, okay, the item shipped. Let me put the date that it shipped. If you're keeping track of delivery date, you can do that too. All right, you really don't have to do that, but you can. The status is basically, what is the status of the order? Is it processing? Whatever, right? Is it pending, meaning that you're not ready to order it yet for some reason? You can put pending. All right, but processed means that you actually put the order through with the supplier, right? And I would definitely put the date. You need to know when you did things, right? And of course, you have to put the ASIN. So if this product is the one that was ordered from, in fact, let's do the second product. Let's say this one was ordered. I'll put that ASIN in here. The ASIN is going to come from Amazon. It's not going to come from, I copied it from here, but in reality, when the order comes through, you're going to get it from Amazon, all right? Amazon's going to give you the ASIN. I'm going to paste it again. Okay, that's because I took it from there. So of course it's going to come out with color, but that's not normally how it's going to be. The unit price of the item, 99. No, not 99. Sorry, what they paid, the buyer paid. Let's say they end up paying 120, a little bit more than what's on there. Okay, and let's say they don't pay any shipping, but they do pay tax. Yes, I do put the buyer tax, what the buyer paid for tax. You don't necessarily have to put that. Okay, but I like to see how much the buyer paid for tax and keep the record. Me personally, I like to do that. So this is what the buyer paid in total, and this is what you're gonna get paid for the item. However, that's before fees. So now you put the percentage for the fee, which is 15%. And as it turns out, the seller fee is $18. The net payout is $102. That's what you're gonna get paid because they're gonna subtract the fees. So that's the Amazon part, and then you move on to the supplier part. You're going to fill in all the supplier. This is Walmart. I'm going to put Walmart. The account, in case you have multiple accounts and you need to know which Walmart account you used, you could put the account username in here. I'm not going to bother right now. Supplier order number, whatever it is, 12- whatever. Okay, you put that in here. The supplier subtotal, which was $99. The tax that you paid. Let's say you paid $3 in tax. The shipping you paid, let's say you paid nothing. Any other discounts or anything, you can put a negative number if it's a discount. I'll just leave it blank. And here's this. It cost me $102. I made $0 profit because I got paid. Ironically, just by chance, it works out in a way that I got paid. My net payout is $102. And at Walmart, it cost me $102. Okay, I didn't plan that. I just happened to pick those numbers, right? So the profit is 0. But then you get 2% cash back on the card, and let's say you get another. I'm gonna be modest and just say you get like 5% from a cashback site. Well, if you do that, then you end up with $6.99, $2 from the card, $4.95 from the website, $7 approximately total in cashback. So you make money after all because you made cashback. The cashback is your profit in this case, right? Now, that's basically how it works. So seeing that, one thing I just want to really make clear, especially if you're kind of new to Amazon dropshipping, you have to understand, or if you're new to dropshipping period, that what you plan here, and actually not just in dropshipping, in FBA, in any model that you use, what you plan here for the product, okay, what you figure out that you could make potentially in profit and the price is not necessarily what's actually going to happen by the time you get an order. So sometimes when you actually get the order, the price ends up being, you might sell it for more than you expected, or you might sell it for less. So it's on the order sheet where you get the true actual true profit. Okay, this is where, because this is based on what actually on actual orders that you received, right? So now we get to see what your real true profit is. All right, so once you do that here, if you go to the profit sheet, I want you to see how this works. You will see that for August 25th, you receive one order, because remember this order is August 25th, sold date. And you're going to see 120 in sales from that item, $18 fee. It gives you all of that information. All right, and then if you get another order in on the 25th, you'll see that this will change to 2 orders, so on and so forth, right? So in fact, if I just take this and I copy it, I'm going to boy, I don't really want to, let me see. Let's see. If I copy and paste it, I'll do that. In fact, I'll just do it straight across. I'll just literally copy this. All right, and this is not something you should ever do. This is something I'm doing just for the sake of demonstration. All right, you should always be entering separate orders because no 2 orders, generally, they're not going to be the same. All right, I'm going to change that order number. This, by the way, it tells you that you have the same order number. How many times you have the same order number. So this order number appears one time. All right, but if I copy this order number and I paste it, it's saying, hey, you have the same, it's telling you you have 2 of these. You should never have 2 of the same order number. You should never have 2. There shouldn't be a 2 here. It should always say 1 for each order number. If you see a 2, it means that you entered this order number before and you are re-entering the same order. Okay, probably by accident. Okay. So just so you know that. Now, once I add a second order, if you go to the profit sheet, you're going to see 2 orders received on the 25th. Automatically, it's counting the number of orders that you received on that date, and it's telling you right here, 2 orders. It's automatically telling you the sales, the fees, the payments, the cost of goods, total for that day, right? Total for the day. All right, it's adding in total the sales on that date, the fees from the 2 orders, the payments, the cost of goods, okay? The total cashback you earn between the 2 orders, the total profit, the net profit, and the net margin and the net ROI, all right, as a percentage. So now, as I discussed before, you can use table design as well, and you can do total row, and you can, you'll see you'll get your totals. And if you had orders on all these different dates, you would see it would add up all of these different profits together from all of these different days and all that, right? As I demonstrated earlier, you can do the filter on and off, the total row button on and off, and then you can use the filter to do the dates. Okay, I'm not going to do it a second time, but you can go back in the video. Great thing about recorded videos is you can use the rewind button and go back. All right, so that is pretty much the system in a nutshell. Again, you have the refund sheet. If you have a refund, just put all of your information for the refund. It will calculate the profit loss based on the return, and it will show up here the profit loss, which will be calculated into your net profit to see what your profit loss was for that day, which will add into your total profit and give you a net profit for the day, right? I have lists here. These are the lists that appear of certain options that you have. Like order status, for instance. See this list? This list comes from here. So if you want to add more order status options, you can type them in here, and then you'll have more options. Okay, I can't think of any other ones, but maybe you might want to put I can't think of any. I was trying to think of something. Okay, this is silly. I'm just going to put the word thinking because I can't think of anything else. Let's say you wanted this to be an order status. You just, by typing this in on the list, when you go to orders, and you go to order status, where's our, oh, here's, status. Now you're going to see that other option of thinking, and you can choose that option as well. So that could be another option. All right, now that it's on the list. Okay, so that's just what the list section is for. If you want to add options, I'm going to remove that because, like I said, it's kind of silly. And that's pretty much how the system works in a nutshell. You've got to use the system to understand the system, I suppose, but I mean, I tried to make it self-explanatory as much as possible, but sometimes what I think in my own head makes sense, based on how I think. It might be different for you. So definitely let me know. That's why I like to get the feedback, suggestions, questions, or comments, just general comments on the system. I've gotten a lot of good feedback so far. So any feedback and things that need to be fixed or could be better or you think would make more sense or whatever, just let me know. If you don't have a copy of the system, click a link. There should be a link in the description of this video to get a copy of the system. And if you're already subscribed to my Excel for Sellers list, then you might have already, by the time this video is released, which it is released if it's playing now, then you probably already have a copy sent to you via email. But if you don't, you can click the link. It takes you to a page. You're just going to subscribe. All subscribing means is that when I make updates to this system or when I have other systems that are related, which I will have other systems coming and other useful tools, you will get an email saying, hey, here's an update, here's a new copy, or here's another tool. All right, on occasion. All right, not like constantly every day, but on occasion I might send you a message and send you updates. So that's what it's all about. So definitely do that if you don't already have a copy of the system. So anyway, this is Mr. Mark, Excel for Amazon Dropshipping. Thanks for your feedback and for using the system and participating. And I look forward to hearing from you, seeing you in another video.